Welcome to the EduStar Talks podcast, where we invite some amazing educational rock stars who lives to inspire and loves to encourage. Hosted by an educator, facilitator, and the EdTech coach, Sumedha Sodhi. In this show, we will discuss about how educators can amplify student engagement, shake up learning, and can rock the curriculum content with 21st century skills. So, if you are looking for ways to rock your class, stay tuned with us and be the never to be forgotten. Welcome to the episode 7 of Edu Rockstar Talks podcast with Sumedha Sodhi. Today we have amongst us Ayush Chopra, who started his journey from Elcon International School, India as a young advocate for United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals when he was 13 years old. Now he is studying in grade 12 at Rick Hansen Senior Secondary School, Canada. Ayush has been recognized with the highest accolade a young person can achieve for social action or humanitarian efforts, the Dina Award. He has been acknowledged as one of the most influential young change makers around the world. He is the founder of SDGs for Children, a unique platform for children across the globe to connect, create, and collaborate for a better and sustainable world. He is one of the pioneer Indian ambassador for the Teach SDGs project, initiated by the Global Goals Education Task Force. He is the only student ambassador among the first group of over 100 distinguished global educators. He has also been a student ambassador for various other global projects like SOS for Love Project, Climate Action Project, Goals Project, and Looking 2020, Social Story, Kindness Project, etc. Ayush was invited to represent India when he was 15 years old as the Indian Youth Ambassador at the 14th Annual International Human Rights Summit. He is the author of Shaping a Fairer World with SDGs and Human Rights. The book is the culmination of his experiences, initiatives, and intense involvement in the social transformation. And he also has his own podcast channel, Shaping a Fairer World. The podcast is an attempt to connect educators, students, and parents together and to share their voices and unheard stories across the globe. Today, Ayush is going to talk about how SDGs can be embedded into the education system. We did a survey with educators around the world asking them about what are SDGs, and let's hear what they have to say.
Hello everyone. The word SDGs is quite new for me. In fact, I heard it for the first time, but I'm really curious and would like to know more about it.
Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs), officially known as Transforming Our World, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, are an intergovernmental set of 17 goals with 169 targets. They are set out by the United Nations and are adopted by all United Nations member states. SDGs are the blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. They address the global challenges which we face, including poverty, inequality, climate change, environmental degradation, peace and justice. Building on the principle of leaving no one behind, the new agenda emphasizes a holistic approach to achieving sustainable development for all.
I don't know what SDGs are exactly, but I would love to know about them for sure.
A 3-day Millennium Summit of world leaders gathered in New York at the headquarters of the United Nations on 8 September 2000. The United Nations called it as Millennium Declaration, Resolution 55 by 2. The declaration includes 8 chapters and 32 paragraphs. It has formulated some 60 goals regarding peace, development, environment, human rights, the vulnerable, hungry and poor, Africa. The Millennium Declaration has certain key objectives which were adopted by 189 world leaders during the summit. An important value of the United Nations Millennium Declaration is respect for nature. Respect for nature implies that prudence must be shown in the management of all living species and natural resources in accordance with the precepts of sustainable development. Only in this way, the immeasurable riches provided by nature can be preserved and passed on to the coming generations. The current unsustainable patterns of production and consumption must be changed in the interest of future welfare and that of the next generations.
SDGs are 17 interlinked goals by UN. It's a kind of blueprint for the betterment and for the good future.
Hi, myself is Ashwinder Kaur. Yeah, I know little bit about SDG, but I love to explore more about the SDG, and I'm really glad to be a part of it.
First of all, hello to whoever is listening. For me, sustainable development is something that we care about future. We care about the coming generation. Yes, we want growth. Yes, we want to develop. But it shouldn't be at the cost of future. It shouldn't be at the cost of a future generation. That the coming generation is suffering with the climate change which is causing disasters at a greater scale, or the development which is of no good, is harming the planet. So this is the main aim of the sustainable development.
About the UN SDGs, as they are called, what I know is that these are 17 goals, and around 195 nations got together in the year 2015 to work together to ensure that the governments, the people, the citizens of the nation, business people, NGOs, and everyone, in fact, who could and would want to make a difference would come together and uplift the people of the world. And 2030 is the deadline, as it were, as of now. And some of the goals are eliminating poverty, providing quality education, and so on. Thank you.
Hi Sumeda, this is Doreen Myrie. Yes, I know about the SDGs and I'll try to not go into too much detail. So the SDGs, also known as the Sustainable Development Goals, there are actually 17 of them with a total of 169 targets. And they were developed in 2015 by the United Nations General Assembly, and they serve as a roadmap to a better and more sustainable future for all to be met by 2030. Thank you so much.
Hello, dear. I have completely no idea about SDGs. This is the very first time that I've heard sustainable development and all. So I'm like completely clueless about it. I would really appreciate if you could, just brief me about it. And I'm looking forward to the podcast. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Today we have Ayush Chopra with us to talk about SDGs and why do they matter. Ayush Chopra is the founder of SDGs for Children, and also this year he is the student ambassador for the Goals Project. How are you doing, Ayush, today?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for having me on this podcast. Really looking forward to it.
Oh, wow, it's good to hear that, and it's so good to talk to you after such a long time. I request you to kindly introduce yourself to our audience.
Yeah, for sure. My name's Ayush Chopra, and thank you so much for the lovely introduction that you gave. Just expanding on that, I'm 18 years old, grade 12 student, and the founder of SDGs for Children. And I have my own book and my own podcast, and really looking forward to talk to all of you and specifically answer the questions to you, ma'am.
Oh, thank you so much, Ayush. So, today we are talking about the Agenda 2030 for Sustainable Development Goals that provides a global blueprint for dignity, peace, and prosperity for people and the planet, now and in the future. A few years into this agenda, we can see how civil society, private sector, government are translating this shared vision into national development plans and strategies. So today we are talking to Ayush Chopra, who is going to tell us more about what are SDGs and who initiated them and how we can play an active role in the implementation of SDGs. So, my first question to you, Ayush, is that please apprise our audience about what are sustainable development goals and who created these sustainable goals.
Yeah, perfect. So basically, SDGs or Sustainable Development Goals, whatever you want to say, are a set of 17 global goals that were made by United Nations for furthering upon the Millennium Development Goals that were created in 2000s. So first of all, the question that needs to come in our mind is why do we need global goals? Why did United Nations create these global goals? I'll give you four scenarios that clearly explain why we need actually these goals. First, in a whole world, 836 million people still live in extreme poverty plan and collect. One more, 1 in 9 people in the world today are still undernourished. 6 million children still die before their fifth birthday each year. 2.5 billion people lack access to basic sanitation services such as toilets or latrines. So basically, Model United Nation, sorry, not Model, United Nations created these 17 global goals in order to shape a fairer world so that each country and each person can follow these goals and make this world a better place for everyone to live in.
Okay, great. I think a sustainable world is one where the people can escape these problems like poverty and enjoy decent work without harming the Earth's essential ecosystem and resources. You rightly explained the SDGs. But how do you think that they matter and are these goals attainable?
100%. These goals are attainable 100%, and it all depends on us how we use them in our daily lives and how strictly and how important we think of them. For example, there are a lot of organizations working out to make this world a better place. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to the individuals, how they implement these goals in their daily life to help someone to make their life better or even their own life. So I think so. These goals are 100% attainable unless we all work together at our own individual level, of course.
Yeah, and it is also said that if we are to achieve all of the SDGs, more needs to be done. And you have started with the organization SDGs for Children. So, what inspired you to start with this organization?
Oh, that's a lovely story. Um, I think so I was in grade 9 when my school and Alco International School, we they organized a exhibition based on sustainable development goals, and that was around 4 years back, 5 years back, no 3 years almost. So that exhibition really changed my view on the world because before that I was already making some YouTube videos on spreading information about social changes that need to come around us, such as bullying or climate change. But during that exhibition, I got introduced to the development goals, and whatever videos I was making or work that I was doing, I was instantly able to connect these things together. So I started learning about them more, started taking help from my teachers, Mr. Ashok Kumar Pandey, my principal, and through that I got more excited about these SDGs, and then I founded the SDGs for Children as a Twitter platform in 2017. And from that, I took it forward with doing projects. And now in 2019, this SDGs for Children organization got incorporated as a not for profit in Canada.
Oh, wow, that's a really inspirational journey. And we are so proud that you have shared this vision with the society and you have come up with such a great initiative to make this world a better place. It's really inspiring. So, thank you. So, what steps are you taking at your end and your organization is taking for implementing SDGs?
Okay, so the steps that my organization, that SDGs for Children taking is SDGs for Children mission is very clear, and it's just 4 points. First, every child must know about SDGs, because me and my organization believes that unless we know them, we can't achieve them. Second one is take one step at a time. Third, change one life at a time. And fourth, keep the hope alive for all. This is the mission of SDGs for Children, and the vision is to take SDGs to each corner of the world and to promote digital leadership among children. So that's how me and my organization are spreading awareness about sustainable development goals so that everyone knows about it and then they can start implementing it in their daily lives.
Yeah, very rightly said. Awareness is very important in the first step. So, with its core set of 17 SDGs that United Nation has set at its blueprint for achieving a happier and healthier world by 2030, how do you think educators can engage in achieving the SDGs and integrate the Sustainable Development Goals into the curriculum?
I think every single goal's important. So some educators, or even some youth or students think that we need to focus only on one goals, like like climate, peace, justice, life below land. But what I think is that we need to focus on every single global goal, because all these global goals are intertwined with each other. So if you try to work towards zero hunger, automatically all those goals will also get starting to be impacted upon. And then maybe once we finish one goal, we can move on to the other one that's already been being achieved alongside. So I think so the incorporation in studies, especially in school level, is really important for these global goals, because if we bring them in the curriculum, the teachers will be able to explain to the students much more beautifully, and with some help of activities or like tools, be really able to tell them how to incorporate in their daily lives. And students will also get fascinated from them, and maybe go home, tell their parents about it, and then the parents also get fascinated, and then further developing on this, they'll start implementing in their houses, in their school, at their grandmother's house also, and further keep on the cycle going.
Yeah, definitely. And I think this is the pathway to the future that we all are looking for. It offers a framework to generate economic growth, achieve social justice, exercise new environmental stewardship, and also it strengthen the governance. And since you talked about that all these SDGs are interrelated, so which of the SDGs do you think needs to be addressed urgently?
um I think so every SDG needs to be addressed urgently, because like we don't have much time left, because the goals is to achieve all of them by 2030, and that's just 9 years away now. So we don't have much time left with us. So I think so every single one needs to be taken at an urgent risk. But for me, especially out of all of them, the goal number 4 has been closest to my heart since the beginning: quality education. And because education is the most important tool in human history. So I think so that's the most important one and needs to be addressed urgently.
Yeah, definitely. I think education is the this goal is the linchpin to all the other SDGs which can be attained if we work upon quality education indeed. So, do you think that this agenda needs participation by all stakeholders, or it's only for children, or it's only for educators, or it's only for the youth? What are your suggestions on this?
See, the time that United Nations made these global goals in 2000, Millennium Development Goals, the goals were too focused on the adults of the world, not the youth, just uh, for the age groups above 25 years old or 30 years old, whatever you categorize adults as. But thing is that we realized how they were not achievable, and then we introduced sustainable development goals to the world. So they know how important the youth of the world is and what power they hold in themselves. So I think so these SDGs, sustainable development goal, needs to be addressed by not just a single age group, but by children, school going, like youth, adults, old people, every single age group.
Yes, indeed. I also believe in the same thing that it's not only for a particular strata of population, but SDGs is for everyone. So what are some of the projects that you are engaged in, and our audience can also become part of such initiatives and contribute towards SDGs?
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to share some projects. So the recent one that's going on is the Goals project, and I think so you're also a part of it. And it just started 2 3 weeks ago only, and it's a 6 week long project. So I think so if anyone wants to be a part of these projects, they have to keep up or keep seeing what's happening around them and in their community as well. Otherwise, if you can go to my organization's website, sdgsforchildren.org, under the section of projects, you'll be able to see a lot of projects that are open for lifetime. I never put a deadline on it, like when they're ending. For example, some projects like 1 minute with SDGs. So what this project is about is like, why do we need SDGs and how important this SDG is, and people can record a 1 minute video on it, and their video can also get published on our homepage, and we'll share the story. Some other project like World Changer or Noisy is a student who is trying to make an impact in the world can share his or her own story, and further we as an organization spread the story to the world and how important it is for everyone to listen to that. So projects keep on coming and going. You just need to find a way to keep on working on them.
Yeah, I think it's all about collaborating and putting these skills from different sectors together to find solutions, and then we can create a more sustainable world together.
Yeah, that was a lovely way to put it.
So, how do you think we all can manifest these goals into our lives? What are your thoughts on this?
Um, Regarding speaking as a student and you as a teacher, I think so. The most important thing is to bring reforms in our education system and address some of the basic questions that we have through our curriculum, like how to become self directed learners, how to be media literate, how to be responsible consumers, how to support neighbors who do not have access to technology, how to share our resources with the community. The SDGs should become the language of any conversation within the classrooms. So we actually need to design an open ended, self directed, inspiring research based curriculum that allows our students to basically attempt the impossible. And there are only two possible outcomes from this. first, the students will fail to solve the problem, but actually learn a lot of valuable lessons along the way. Or the second, they actually will surprise us all and actually solve the problem at hand. So, the most important thing in order to achieve Agenda 2030 is actually reform the education.
Yeah, definitely. You have put some great strategies that we can follow in our lives and contribute our bit to SDGs. Thanks for all those advice that you have given us. Okay, so share one last powerful message with our audience today. How they can contribute their bit to SDGs and get started with the implementation of sustainable development goals.
I think so. The most important message that I have is for the youth, the world, and for your audience as well, is to find their voice, how to reach out to the world so that the world really listens to you. Find a platform where you can share your work, and most of all, you don't have to wait for anyone to start a project or get linked to it and then maybe start working on it. Start working on it on your individual level and share your success stories. Share your success stories on different platforms like YouTube, Twitter. Share your success stories with different organizations. For example, organizations like mine, we basically collect these stories and spread it further for the people to actually learn from it and learn from you what steps you are taking differently than anyone else around the world.
That's a great, powerful message indeed. And how can our audience connect with you and where they can find you to know more about sustainable development goals?
Yes, for sure. One of the best thing to know more about SDG or get educated on them is actually going to United Nations website. And if you want to know about me and my project and what SDGs, like 1 minute with SDGs the project that we did, is you can go to sdgsforchildren.org, and you can also find me on Twitter and on YouTube and my name Ayush Chopra.
Thank you so much, Ayush. That's really inspirational. And as your ex teacher, I was your teacher in middle school. It
Yes, I
really
remember.
feels it really feels great to see your students flourishing and doing so many things for changing this world into a better place. It's really inspiring. God bless you, and
Thank you so much, ma'am.
thank you for coming to my podcast. It really made a difference today. I believe that some educators still don't know about SDGs, so it will be a great interaction where you are representing as a student ambassador this year for Goals Project. So you can apprise the educators and children around the world about SDGs and how we can contribute our bit. And you really did a great job. Congratulations for that.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much for joining in and all the best for your all future endeavors.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for having me. It was a lovely pleasure to coming on board and talking to you after such a long time.
Thank you so much. You have just listened to the Edu Rockstar Talks podcast with your host Sumedha Sodhi. Subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform. Head over to subscribe, rate, and leave a review for us. It is very much appreciated. Do not forget to join us next week for another exciting episode. Thank you for listening to us and be the never to be forgotten.